Okay, welcome to game 2 of the series. This is again CaptainSPrice versus Luvnest. CaptainSPrice just destroyed Luvnest so fast. That was a really quick game. Ended before anybody was really expecting it. I think Luvnest was behind, and it looked like CaptainSPrice was winning, but I'm not sure the game was over. That surrender seemed a little premature to me. Luvnest must have a lot of confidence in his ability to win games 2 and 3, honestly. And this map definitely favors Oster. There's no doubt in my mind about that. So I'm curious about what he's going to do. We have the exact same faction picks. Soviets versus Oster. No Over Commando West. No U.S. forces.
The hard part will be keeping it.
So CaptainSPrice did not pick U.S. forces to counter Luvnest's pick of Oster again.
Heavy machine gun team prepared for combat.
And CaptainSPrice has not changed his build at all. He's leaving himself a little vulnerable to being blind countered by doing the exact same build every single game. Somebody's got to bring a strategy to bear that can beat this. He's going to go conscript, maxim, conscript, then 4 squads of flamethrowers, and then possibly an extra squad of shock troops into IS-2s. At least that's what it looks like. And I'm wondering how Luvnest is going to respond to that. He's opening with 3 squads of grenadiers, wiring off some cover positions by his cutoff, just taking control of territory. CaptainSPrice is actually playing pretty defensively here at the beginning of the game, making his way to the right side. He's a very patient player, there's no doubt in my mind about that. If you've caught any of my other casts of CaptainSPrice in a non-tournament setting, he will always wait patiently and defend and work the victory points rather than getting super aggressive, and he fields a lot of infantry so that he can have at least 2 to 3 squads on every victory point or attacking a victory point at any given time. Somewhat dependent on his strategy. We've also seen him set up like a really strong defensive position on just 2 victory points and then kind of wait for his opponent to attack to try and win a defensive battle. So this strategy, though, really aggressive flamethrower usage. I don't know if it's going to work super well against Oster. LMG Grens on this map can laser beam those flamethrowers down so quick. Luvnest opening with 4 grenadiers, trying to counter that flamethrower spam that's on the way. 3rd squad of conscripts is making its way to the field now, and CaptainSPrice will continue to simply take control of the fuel and victory point over here. Munitions getting taken as well. These 2 squads moving up to engage these conscripts. Grenadiers moving to take up a position in the building. We'll fire on those conscripts from there. And the Maxim will be forced to retreat by grenadiers in green cover in this position. Munitions going to get taken by CaptainSPrice. That flamethrower, that's the first flamethrower, and I'm sure more are on the way. Looks like it's winning the engagement, and the grenadiers will be forced to retreat. Conscripts move to take control of more strategic points over here. If these grenadiers can survive this engagement in the house, he'll hold onto this fuel. They need to hold for a little longer while support arrives. He's going to retreat a little early, but I think he should be able to hold on to that fuel with this supporting squad. It's moving up now. And meanwhile, CaptainSPrice is going to take control of the center VP, but Luvnest is harassing his cutoff here. In the north, the squad of grenadiers, he does manage to get a decapped and cut off all of Price's resources there on the right side for now.
The enemy is taking our territory.
His conscripts will be forced to retreat across the river, but with only 1 squad of Grens firing, I think they'll get away. Only 1 shot fired while he was in red cover, did not connect. Moved out of that capture circle a little early, but that's actually because he would still be cut off anyway by this strategic point, so he's just trying to force a retreat there. Meanwhile, MG42 and Grenadiers set up on the left side should be able to win an engagement against those flamethrowers, but they're also in their green cover position going to be able to get that munitions back under control.
The sector is at risk. We have it. Enemy forces forces are neutralizing a sector.
Squad over here on the right side, taking control of this fuel, doing some harassment, and Price is going to move his machine gun to try and counter. They are in green cover though, and the machine gun's in red cover, so I actually think Grenadiers will win that engagement. Price is trying to reposition out of that red cover. He's taking heavy damage. Not a very good engagement right there. He needs to wait for support to arrive from these conscripts, which are making their way to the front line now. And these squads will continue to work on the left side, getting that munitions under control. We've also got some wire here from Luvnest to deny that center VP to Captain Price. The second squad of combat engineers is now on the field. I think that might struggle a little bit though. I really do. Not sure what I think about spamming flamethrowers on crossing in the woods, all this red cover, all these long-range engagements. Luvnest has not upgraded any of his grenadiers with LMGs yet. He's got 100 munitions in the bank, does have Battle Phase 1, so it's available to him. Oh, there it is. He's purchased one LMG, he's got the munitions for more. He might be holding off on that for now, though, if he wants to maybe throw down a Teller mine, get himself a flamethrower, a minesweeper. There are other important munitions expenditures that Oster has to make. Doesn't want to spam LMGs too hard too early. MG42 set up on the left. Looks like it will successfully shut down this push by this Maxim. Maybe, actually. It's an open ground, and if the Maxim makes it to green cover, it also has the larger crew size. The Maxim gets suppressed first, so that helps. Grenadiers moving into close range over here on these. Grenadiers will lose the engagement since there are more supporting infantry over here, but this flamethrower squad is taking control of the munitions and strategic point over here, while those Grenadiers make their way back out of Luvnest's base. And Luvnest is now purchasing himself a half-track to allow his Grenadiers to reinforce in the field. Having a forward reinforced position from that half-track surrounded by LMG Grenadiers is an extremely powerful weapon against squishy Soviet flamethrower squads. I think once that half-track makes its way to the front line with Grenadier support, it's going to be very difficult for Captain Price to counter it. Flamethrowers firing on that Pio squad.
Territory secured.
And the half-track is on the field, making its way forward. Grenadier support should be able to push away those flamethrowers easily enough. The left side is still firmly in Luvnest's control as well.
Supply sector under attack. Squad at full strength. Grenadiers.
Grenadiers move into close range to fire a rifle grenade. Ooh. Only gets one model loss. Will be forced to retreat. On the right side, he definitely won the engagement with his half-track, moving up with Grenadier support aggressively here to fire on these conscripts. Captain Price does have access to anti-tank grenades.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Squad's falling low, having trouble out-reinforcing all of this firepower, but there's a lot of stuff across the river to assist in the engagement, and that flamethrower should get gunned down. There it is. Suppression from the MG42 suppresses both squads. Infantry moving up from the left flank will easily force a retreat from them as well. Pioneers look like they're going straight for the territory to cut it off in the midst of this engagement. Grenadiers trying to get back across the river. And they will succeed in doing so, reinforcing out of the half-track now. More support moving up. MG42 moving up, trying to keep the pressure going. And it's important that he get some territory over here because he is losing control of the left side. And Maxim Machine Gun has moved up to take control of that fuel, and these conscripts are going to grab the left side victory point as well. Pioneers are successful in cutting off Soviet resources on the right side. Captain Price currently has only 10 fuel coming in. Luvnest working with 26 while his fuel is still getting decapped over there. And 3 flamethrowers have moved up into pretty short range on that Grenadier squad, but the MG42 here will prevent them from moving up too aggressively. Captain Price has purchased a field gun to try to put some pressure on that half-track and make it reposition. Doesn't currently have range on the half-track. 1 squad of Grenadiers being sent to the left side, is picking off conscripts at range. And that Maxim should force a retreat from that Grenadier squad. Luvnest is going straight to battle phase 2, and once he has a Panzer IV on the field, he should be in pretty good shape.
Our assault grenadiers await your order to deploy, Commander. We may now call in Model E assault guns, Commander.
Luvnest just chose Mechanized Assault and fielded himself a Stug E. That's going to be pretty dangerous for CaptainSPrice. There's already an AT gun on the field. He's got AT grenades, so it's a threat that he can manage. But if it gets any lucky squad wipes, he's already lost 1 full conscript squad. If he loses any further, that would be a problem. And we also know that CaptainSPrice has gone Shock Rifle, because that's just what he does with this strategy. So if he fields any shock troops, they're going to be quite vulnerable to that thing as well. Luvnest continues to apply a lot of pressure to the Soviet cutoff over here on the left side, but that half-track gets too aggressive, and the field gun reveals itself with a critical shot, destroys that half-track in 1 hit. It had taken enough damage just from small arms fire to be totally destroyed, and that was the cornerstone of Luvnest's big push over here on the right side. Losing that half-track is very significant, and by destroying it, CaptainSPrice should be able to break free of this containment and get territory back under his control. He's already 100 victory points behind, but destroying that half-track is definitely a big win, and Luvnest has invested quite a bit of fuel into this Stug, so if he loses that to the field gun as well, he'll be way behind. And the fact that he's gone tier 3... wait, what? Oh, he canceled Battle Phase 2. Okay, never mind. I was about to say he spent even more fuel on Battle Phase 2, but he canceled that and fielded the Stug instead of that. So from the Stug, he's going to go straight to a Tiger, and he's also being forced to purchase himself a new half-track. Luvnest does have some good harassment going over here on the left side. Tellermine going down from these Pios before moving to capture the strategic and fuel points. The Stug is taking damage from that field gun, barely avoids getting hit by anti-tank grenade here. It's kind of backed into a corner right here. The field gun moves up to fire on it. It's 1 hit from dead. If Luvnest doesn't react to this, he could lose his Stug. What is he doing? Oh, the Stuggy is destroyed by an attack ground maneuver, I think. That is really bad for Luvnest. He just lost his half-track and Stug. Now he's going to be forced to contend with an IS-2 without any armor of his own, really. So he's in a lot of trouble. His only saving grace now is the fact that he holds basically the entire map. He holds both fuel points. His income is huge. CaptainSPrice is kind of slowly getting territory back and prioritizing victory points over strategic points, as you can see. So Luvnest does have that 36 fuel coming in. That Tiger's probably going to get to the field. He's losing fuel control somewhat on the right side, but he's also taking control of strategic points over there on the left. CaptainSPrice currently has only 13 coming in. Luvnest has 33. About to lose the right side fuel, though. So, I don't know. It's gonna be a few minutes before that Tiger hits the field. The fuel income's about to slow down as he loses control of that right side fuel point. But it should still be able to make it to the field in time to alleviate the pressure from that IS-2. IS-2 is going to hit the field first, I think. But if Luvnest can keep from engaging for a while and try and get that fuel up before the CPs tick to 11 command points, then there might be a chance of his Tiger hitting the field at roughly the same time as the IS-2. Pio's taking casualties over here. Will be forced to retreat. The new half-track is taking a little bit of damage from small arms fire. Has to be very careful with that. Doesn't want to lose a second one to this AT gun, which is Vet 1 because of its perfect positioning, honestly. He has never overextended it. It's taken no damage and has killed 2 vehicles. Really nice field gun usage by CaptainSPrice, using it just aggressively enough to take advantage of Luvnest's mistakes. but not too aggressively. And I'm pretty sure he was blind firing it at that Stug. I don't think he even had vision. Smoke grenade going out from CaptainSPrice so that he can continue to secure victory point control. Luvnest still has a huge victory point lead, almost 200 points. These squads are going to reinforce and make their way back out of the base. Conscripts taking control of the victory point on the left side while these squads work on the center. And we do have a bit of a harassment attempt by Luvnest here. Rifle grenade goes out, no lucky flamethrower burst. Doesn't inflict all that many losses either. Luvnest could go with another rifle grenade, but CaptainSPrice is spreading himself out. Again, no flamethrower burst, doesn't inflict that many losses. So a lot of munitions spent there by Luvnest. Doesn't get any lucky kills. Kind of a waste of those 60 munitions, but he's got 53 coming in because of his excellent map control. And he's now about 2 minutes away from that Tiger. A little more than 2 minutes away from that Tiger. Meanwhile, CaptainSPrice has got the fuel and the CPs for the IS-2. He's been bleeding just a little too much manpower though. Can't call it in immediately. He's going to have to be careful about the manpower expenditures he makes here in the base, reinforcing his squads. He's not reinforcing any of these because he's just going to float that manpower up for the IS-2 now. And by purchasing that squad of shock troops, he definitely put a big dent in his manpower. If he had not done that, he'd have the IS-2 already. On this map, shock troops, not great. They've only got 1 kill, so not sure that was the best purchase. Luvnest, on the other hand, has no manpower concerns at all, and just needs that fuel to come in. Floating a little extra manpower will allow him to continue reinforcing here by this half track. And he's also got room to make an AT gun, honestly. I think he could throw out the AT gun. We've obviously seen that the AT gun can perform really well on this map because of the long range across the river shots it can take. And he's probably going to want one to help him fight that IS-2, especially since his opponent has one. And the IS-2 is rumbling onto the field now. And there you have it. Luvnest has queued up an AT gun to go with his Tiger, which is going to be hitting the field in just about 10 fuel. CaptainSPrice doesn't have that much of a fuel lead on Luvnest, despite going straight for the IS-2. Luvnest purchased 2 half tracks and a Stuggy, and still is going to have a Tiger at about the same time. He's got about 100 fuel lead. 100 fuel lead is not that much, and it's because Luvnest has had such great map control. Holds both fuel points even now after the losses he's taken.
300 points stand between us and defeat.
And the map control he has is mostly because he can engage so well with those LMGs against conscripts and shock troops and flamethrowers. Finally, an equalizer has arrived, though. That IS-2 is going to be a pretty serious problem for Luvnest Grenadiers. Shock troops firing on them in red cover, but the Tiger's moving up to screen. And the IS-2 takes a shot at the Tiger instead of the Grenadiers, and they're going to get to safety. Both of them land successful penetrating shots on each other. They're just going to slug it out for now. Tiger shot misses, unfortunately. So the IS-2 is definitely pulled ahead in this engagement. Tiger just missed twice, in fact. So he's going to have to pull that back for repairs. The AT gun available here to screen will prevent the IS-2 from chasing too aggressively. And of course, CaptainSPrice has his 3 flamethrower squads available from the early game, and he'll be able to get some repairs done on that IS-2 quite quickly.
Sector is at risk.
Luvnest will secure control of the right side victory point, sort of. Ooh, that was pretty close to a squad wipe. And that Grenadier squad inflicting pretty good damage to these conscripts. Maxim moves up to take control of the center victory point, and conscripts are going to try to take the left side, but there is an HMG defending, and they'll probably be forced away pretty soon. Ooh, incendiary artillery being dropped on the MG42. CaptainSPrice is aware that he's kind of behind in victory points here. So he drops that incendiary artillery to try to get this territory under his control, force that machine gun to retreat. LMG Grenadiers doing great over here on the right side, but shock troops arrive to push them back across the river, if possible. Half-track firing on the squad. It's going to be kind of a tough engagement. Ooh, grenade goes off, but they're pretty spread out. Nice positioning on the field gun to fire on that half-track. It will force it to reposition quickly, and the IS-2 is moving up to fire on the Tiger. Field gun moves up to be able to take shots as well, and the AT gun is repositioning to screen that IS-2 away. Panzerfaust connects with the IS-2, damaging its engine, and it will be forced back. On the left side, conscripts have taken the victory point, and the clock is stopped until the center point can be captured by one of these players. Grenadiers moving up to fire on those conscripts will prompt a retreat. The IS-2 is going to pull back with a damaged engine to base for some repairs as well. Meanwhile, this flamethrower is going to try and force away Luvnest's Pioneers. Tiger is receiving repairs. Grenadiers moving up to shoot at those flamethrowers in turn. They will be able to hold onto that fuel for a little longer. And these conscripts have shifted away from this left side victory point to take control of munitions once again. CaptainSPrice is playing patiently as usual, waiting for that second IS-2 to hit the field before making any aggressive plays. Once he has a second IS-2, he'll have a significant lead over Luvnest until the second Tiger arrives. So he'll have a short window of opportunity where he has a pretty big advantage, and it'll be important that he capitalize on that. But he'll probably want to field a minesweeper as well, just in case of teller mines. I don't see any on the right side currently. I know there's a teller mine over here somewhere. There it is. But for now, rather than directly engaging, CaptainSPrice will simply work on the left side with his IS-2. Luvnest drops a light artillery barrage to scare away one squad of conscripts, maybe land a lucky hit on the flamethrowers, but doesn't really connect. The left side victory point will fall back into CaptainSPrice's control. On the right side, all infantry that are trying to maintain their hold on the fuel over here, getting scared off by the Tiger. Shock troops look like they may be able to capture this point though. Pios move into the capture circle to stop that capture attempt, and the Tiger's going to move up to support some grenadiers here on the Soviets' cutoff. Combat engineers should be able to take the left side fuel point pretty much unopposed though. Luvnest has no forces over there at all. He's playing very aggressive around the Soviet cutoff. Uh-oh. Oh, big hit right there by the IS-2. They were really clumped. And up against a shot blocker. IS-2 wipes that Grenadier squad. AT gun on the other side of the river. That's actually pretty aggressive placement of that pack. It's going to have to get out of there. Conscripts might steal this. This could be huge. Okay, fortunately there is a machine gun set up to protect. That was a slightly overextended pack. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I didn't see that machine gun set up right there to cover it though, so it'll be fine. Makes its way back to reinforce the half-track, making its way to the front line to help that out as well. These combat engineers haven't even moved. Should definitely get that fuel on the left side under control. Really needs to shift-click those capping orders. Getting a little difficult for him to micro several engagements simultaneously. Incendiary artillery going down over here to try and scare off some grenadiers. Maxim set up back here will suppress them and force them to retreat through flames. One lucky crit. Nothing else though. 2 lucky crits, but not a whole lot of manpower bleed. Squads will get away, but it does force them off the field for now. Anti-tank guns reinforcing here on the right side, and combat engineers finally leave the victory point and go take control of that fuel. CaptainSPrice using a lot of munitions on the incendiary artillery, so no demo charges or mines from him yet. It's going to be important to place those to take out full squads, to take out his opponent's tanks. There's a teller mine on the ground right there, so Luvnest is making it harder and harder for his opponent to push in preparation for that second IS-2. Pioneers working on the right side, and both players are playing very carefully. There's another big wipe though from that IS-2. It's getting some really good hits. That's brought Luvnest down to only 2 Grenadier squads remaining, and he keeps on taking out his LMGs, and he's going to have to spend manpower on new ones, and because of that it's going to probably delay his Tiger even more than it already has been. by his loss of both of the fuel points. These two Grenadier squads making their way to the left side should easily be able to force away that flamethrower. It will retreat immediately upon spotting those. And these Grenadiers should be able to get the left side under control while the IS-2 is... Well, maybe. I don't know. The IS-2 is actually available pretty nearby to push those two Grenadiers away. And the second IS-2 just hit the field. He's going to have to drop 60 munitions if he wants the top-mount machine gun. There it goes. Brought down to almost no munitions, so still no mine or demo charge possibilities for CaptainSPrice. But we're looking at a pretty big push here. Shock troops moving up, do a lot of damage to that machine gun. Got caught out of position and it does get cleared. Pioneers will also be forced to retreat. Conscripts on the rear armor of this Tiger do not manage to damage its engine. I think he's moving those to maybe try to recover that MG or something. I don't know, but it looks like Luvnest is having to pull way off the map. His AT guns had to reposition to a more safe location to continue supporting his one Tiger, and he's definitely trying to convince CaptainSPrice to cross the river and hit one of these Teller mines. But he's not taking the... Oh, maybe he is, maybe he is. He might hit that one. I think he's going to hit that Teller mine. Oh, he's so close. Those AT guns scared him off. He scared him off. He was totally going to hit that mine. That is tragic. Now he's got to reinforce this pack gun. IS-2 just cleared it out. Tiger moving up to try and prevent the pack from being destroyed. It's receiving repairs as well. I think that pack might get destroyed if he doesn't screen that IS-2 away. All shots on that IS-2 are bouncing. Shock troops being screened by the Tiger will be forced to retreat. This pack is getting a couple shots off on that pack. The IS-2 is trying to stick around long enough to destroy the gun completely. Still got a lot of health with which to do so. None of the shots are really connecting that well. The Tiger really needs to move up aggressively and push that IS-2 away. It's too late though. Anti-tank gun's been destroyed. This pack does hit Vet 1, giving it access to target weak point, but he is taking so much pressure from these IS-2s. So much pressure. Finally, he gets a lucky break, and an IS-2 hits a Teller mine over there on the right side, but he's having a lot of trouble capitalizing on that with the second IS-2 and the Tiger falling really low with pressure from the field gun there by the center victory point. Oh, the IS-2 finally hit that Teller mine! Wow, I almost forgot that was even there. IS-2 makes just a slightly wrong maneuver as it attempts to reverse, and that IS-2 is destroyed with just enough damage from the Tiger and AT gun. Luvnest got a lucky break there, and the good news is this one has a destroyed engine from hitting the other Teller mine. Light artillery barrage coming in on the repairing flamethrower squads will prevent repairs for now. The AT gun has moved up to try and fire on it. That IS-2 is in a lot of danger. We could see them both go down. The Tiger should be able to screen away these flamethrower squads. Grenadiers will be forced to retreat. The AT gun has been cleared. But there are Pios right here to recruit. Tiger falling a little low from the field gun over there, which is Vet 2. Another conscript squad just got wiped on retreat. He really needs to repair that IS-2, and he needs to screen away this pack. The IS-2 is completely immobilized, and he has to just try to out-repair the damage. Tiger can't be too aggressive here, but if the Tiger or the anti-tank gun can land some shots with attack ground or with vision provided by those Grenadiers, he could definitely take it out. He needs to get those flamethrower engineers away from it, though. He wants to move his Tiger up to engage. His Grenadiers have successfully screened this AT gun away. With that out of the way, the Tiger can move up, but Luvnest is being smart. He's going to flank around behind that IS-2. I don't see any AT guns over here available to assist. This AT gun needs to get a better line on the IS-2 from the front, leaving itself a little vulnerable to the flamethrowers there. Ooh, huge hit by the Tiger on the rear armor. Pack is firing, but all shots bouncing so far. It still has a destroyed engine. The Tiger is still heavily damaged, so it needs to be careful, but all of its shots on the rear armor of that immobilized IS-2 are penetrating. Luvnest should be able to win this engagement as long as nothing goes horribly wrong. His anti-tank gun got cleared by the Maxim, but the Tiger's gonna finish it off, no doubt. Smoke grenade going down on the IS-2. Desperately trying to save it. Attack ground through the smoke will destroy the IS-2's engine, though. And there it goes, finally. Luvnest wraps it up, takes the IS-2 down. doesn't lose a single Tiger, and those tanks are both destroyed by Teller mines. Great Teller mine placement by Luvnest. I wonder if CaptainSPrice will react by doing the same thing, trying to get some mines down on his half of the river to punish Luvnest if he tries to cross. The only real weapon he has left with which to fight that Tiger is now this Vet 3 AT gun. And all of Captain Price's conscripts are dead, so he's fallen extremely behind. Luvnest up to 300 fuel now, and Captain Price a couple minutes away from his next IS-2. Captain Price is going to continue working on map control here on the left side while Luvnest is trying to reinforce and repair. And he will have Luvnest triple capped, if only briefly, while he brings his forces to bear. But he's got plenty of time to work with. He still has a 150-point lead over Captain Price. And the Tiger's fully repaired and will make its way back towards the center. Smoke grenade going down, but I don't think he's going to be able to... Okay, he will be able to capture the point. Grenadier's not wanting to get too close. Doesn't want any squad wipes to taint his victory over those IS-2s. But the longer he waits, while Captain Price has both fuel points, the more IS-2s are just going to flood the battlefield. He does have the manpower for a second Tiger now, though. 2 Tigers against one IS-2 will not be an engagement Captain Price can win, which is why he's fielded himself this extra AT gun over here. He's going to need to make sure to keep those spread out so they won't be too vulnerable to light artillery barrage or grenades or tank fire. More artillery mines going down on this half of the river. The map continues to change hands. Luvnest taking control of most of the map since Captain Price is so behind. So behind for manpower and map control now. Luvnest map control this whole game has been really good. His early engagements were terrible. Really not very good. Losing those half tracks, losing that Stug, or losing one half track, losing the Stug E. I wasn't sure he was going to be able to come back from that, but those Teller mines were just huge. And his map control, even after losing engagements, was really strong. I think that's one of Luvnest's biggest strengths, is his ability to capture points all over the map at all times. Keep those squads moving.
Fight bravely for the Reich. The enemy is down to 200 points.
Second Tiger making its way to the front line. Luvnest has a minesweeper, but it's been forced off the field. I'm not sure exactly where he was able to check, but I mean, CaptainSPrice just doesn't lay that many mines. Doesn't lay that many mines or demo charges. We've seen him lay a handful, but he doesn't just cover the battlefield in them the way other players tend to, like Jezelin, for example, who's the whole battlefield is mines at a certain point. I don't think Captain Price has laid a single one. He's got 180 manpower, or munitions, but I guess he's saving it for his incendiary artillery to try and take out those AT guns. Ooh, IS-2 gets a really lucky shot right there. 2 field guns are setting up over here on the right side to counter that Tiger, which is trying to blitz into close range, but when he sees 2 field guns set up to counter, he'll change his mind, I think. Takes pretty heavy damage right there. He needs to keep moving. What is he doing? He's gonna lose that Vet 2 Tiger! IS-2 sees a huge opportunity! The field gun finishes it off. That Vet 3 field gun in the back destroys that Tiger! Why didn't he keep moving to safety? That was a terrible engagement for Luvnest. Just loses his Vet 2 Tiger just to anti-tank guns. Combat engineers taking control of the right side victory point, try and capitalize on that victory. Luvnest will be able to afford a new Tiger soon because of how good his map control is. CaptainSPrice doesn't have very many squads with which to take territory back, so losing that Tiger is bad, but he's still way ahead, honestly. Kind of a careless mistake, though. Utilizing tracking, that AT gun was able to spot that Tiger through the fog of war, gets a couple shots off across the river. It'll back off to a slightly more safe location, and the AT guns are going to do the same. That Vet 3 AT gun's powerful. This is very powerful. It's killed a half-track, a Stug, and a Tiger this game. He's definitely gotten good value out of that thing. Meanwhile, shock troops are fielded to the left side to start the victory points ticking against Luvnest again. IS-2 is going to fire on these grenadiers here. No lucky shots yet, but the top mount machine guns bringing them pretty low in that red cover position. They'll be forced to retreat anyway. Anti-tank gun across the river gets a couple shots off on the IS-2. It's got to pull back for some repairs. Shock troops on the left side will be chased away by the fresh Tiger. And we've got one squad of grenadiers defending here on the victory point as well. Shock troops want to chase away those pyos. Ooh, that was a sneaky grenade. Threw it at the repairing pyos instead of the ones up in the front line. Almost caught Luvnest off guard there. It does take two of the models out, they'll retreat. But shock troops fall very low after being shot by that tank and will be forced away. There's still a Tellermine right there, and that's sneaky. I wonder if that's going to have an impact on this game. If CaptainSPrice doesn't oh, he did. He does. Finally. There's the Minesweeper. Okay, he's got one. Hopefully he'll be escorting his tanks from this point forward with that Minesweeper. He doesn't want to hit any more Tellermines this game. Target weak point from the anti-tank gun will stun the IS-2. It's still got plenty of health though. And CaptainSPrice will maintain control of one victory point, but the clock's still ticking against him and he's about to slide down below 100 VPs. Nice positioning on the 18 guns. He gets a lot of damage done on that Tiger. CaptainSPrice looks like he wants to make something happen here, but none of his shots are penetrating, really. One of his flamethrowers also burst here in the back. AT gun will get cleared, and Luvnest has fielded. This is actually a fresh Tiger. So he's got two Tigers with which to fight that damaged IS-2, but AT guns are available to screen. They're firing at the Tiger rather than this half-track. That would be a pretty easy kill. Now lets that slip away. IS-2 getting a little bold. Does not have a lot of health to work with for this engagement, but he really wants to kill one of these Tigers. I don't know if this is a good idea, though. Getting so aggressive. Be careful. Oh, he's only got a sliver left. Machine gun destroyed. No! That Tiger's still alive. It needs to get out of there. It's not got enough time to react, though. Not enough time, and another Tiger goes down. I don't think Luvnest thought CaptainSPrice was going to engage with the tank that low. He was like, he's pulled back for repairs. I'm fine. I don't have to worry about a thing, and it sneaks up and blasts that Tiger. Wow. Grenadiers on the flank look like they kind of want to finish that IS-2 off with a Panzerfaust, but they're not going to be able to do it. With that flamethrower there, and this IS-2 is going to be repaired, and And it seems for some reason that the person with more tanks keeps losing engagements. Two IS-2s pushing
Enemy
across the river
forces are
towards the south,
securing our territory.
both destroyed by Luvnest AT guns. Then two Tigers trying to push up and make something happen here on the right side. And a Tiger gets destroyed by one IS-2. And CaptainSPrice is actually going with a KV-8. Doesn't feel like he has time to wait for a second IS-2. He's going to move that KV-8 up and hopefully be able to take out some of Luvnest's infantry and anti-tank weaponry. He's having a lot of trouble with map control. Doesn't hold the center or left side. Luvnest has a bunker going up over there to protect the VP as well. Machine gun upgraded now. And incendiary artillery won't be able to force that to retreat. Shock troops working on the victory point here in the center, and CaptainSPrice has only 67 VPs remaining, so he really needs to make something big happen. AT guns moving up will snipe that half-track easily. The AT gun is overextended and may be taken and turned against this Tiger. All of Luvnest's infantry being forced to retreat off the field. AT guns are trying to advance through a light artillery barrage, almost loses that Vet 3 AT gun. Looks like he's gonna make it through though. The Tiger's falling low and has to pull back for more repairs. And CaptainSPrice's advance on the right side looks like it's going extremely well. Luvnest has been reduced to only 3 Grenadier squads and 2 Pios and 1 Tiger. CaptainSPrice's army looking a lot more impressive, but Luvnest still has excellent map control, and if he can just hold on until those 53 points are knocked off, he can win this game. This one's getting pretty down to the wire.
Grenadier squad at full strength.
The stolen AT gun and Vet 3 field gun are making their way back to the Soviet base to reinforce and heal. Those are very powerful weapons. So powerful. 5 vehicles destroyed. He's gotten such good value out of that AT gun this game.
Resistance! Taking fire!
We have 300 points remaining. The enemy is taking our territory. The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
IS-2 and KV-8 moving up for a big push here on Luvnest's remaining forces. Flamethrowers going off on various infantry formations. LMG Grenadiers will be forced to retreat away from this engagement from KV-8's fire. Field guns do a lot of damage to that Tiger and force it to reposition. The KV-8 forcing all infantry here from Luvnest to retreat. Could wipe a squad. There it goes. Tiger wants to take out that KV-8. It did expose itself a little bit with that maneuver, but it looks like it's going to be okay. The Tiger's going to disengage, not wanting to continue to take damage from that Vet 3 field gun right there. He's got to pull back for repairs, and he now has only 1 Grenadier squad left. His AT gun and some Pios and his Tiger, and the center of victory point is going to fall in CaptainSPrice's control here, and I don't know if Luvnest is going to be able to turn the clock back against him.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
You guys, listen to
Combat
me.
engineers working on the strategic point over here. Munitions being taken by those shock troops, and a huge arsenal of anti-tank weaponry making its way towards the cutoff to engage that Tiger the next time it moves up to engage. Here's a fun fact: apparently a stolen pack can utilize ambush camouflage. That's I didn't actually know that. It's kind of neat. Turn them all invisible. Oh god, this could be huge damage. Ooh! Oh! All shots penetrated. Look at that burst. Oh! I think that Tiger's gonna go down. That's the first time I've ever seen ambush camouflage used to good effect. That's the game. Luvnest can't come back from this. GG. Captain Price will maintain his throne, and he's gonna start earning prize money now. That's the very first challenger he's defeated that's gonna earn him anything, and he's gonna continue winning $5 per challenger defeated. So I'm gonna open up a new raffle and find a new challenger now. Good game. Allies win.